All right. This was an interesting beginning of the day. So, for a very long time, I've been myself how this is gonna go, and I must say, even though it pardon, even though it definitely didn't go the way I intended or desired it to go, it actually serves me really well. So I did go to the municipality armed with, well, armed, equipped with the knowledge of the procedure, what I need to do, and what are the requirements to apply for social housing with the medical declaration and the fact that I'm a father and I do have the custody over my children shared custody and co-parenting and so forth. Um, Even though that normally the beginning of every bureaucratic process in Netherlands is very complicated and it always requires a number of points. However, when it comes to the right to housing and the right to dignity, these are two basic human rights, and the Dutch constitution definitely has the right to housing well defined and well described, especially when it comes to situations with parenting and kids and health involved. So, knowing all that, I did go to the municipality um, to start the procedure. So, not to argue about anything, not to discuss anything, just to begin the procedure and application for this. And I didn't go to a clerk. I did call the number of the social housing team and got an appointment directly with them. When I got there, I kid you not, within a minute, the woman asks me a few questions, and one of them, of course, it has to be, how long have you lived in Amsterdam? Obviously, I just got registered around June this year, and I did live before between 2014 till 2016. She looked into the data, but totally disregarded the fact that before June 2023, I've also been registered in another municipality next to Amsterdam. And when you look up the details, the regulations, and the requirements, it becomes evident and clear that that municipality actually also falls into the same line of the requirements. So technically, there is one condition I've already fulfilled, or would be close enough. But this is not the only condition. There are many more. And exceptions, and the law definitely allows exceptions to be made when the case is reviewed on each individual application. So here's the fun part. I didn't even get to start an application. The woman says, I've got bad news. I said, okay. I might have expected the bad news. So please, would you just be so kind and write those bad news and the reasons why you're refusing me right now on the spot on the piece of paper? Because I'd like to take that to my legal counselor. To that, she proceeds, reacting, as in, I'm not going to write you a paper, you need to calm down. I was calm. There was no problem. She starts calling security. So I said, it won't help. I will not move from this chair until I get a paper, and I believe you should just call your supervisor right now. The supervisor comes, and the rest of the interaction, I have it on the video. Now, I will keep this, for the time being, private, until I speak to the lawyer. But everything is going to come out. So, apart from my own mistake in 2015, when I've crossed the line, broke the law, was charged with the domestic violence. I paid my price and the sentence. I didn't go to jail. Yeah. However, ever since, there were no criminal charges against me again. Filed maybe, pressed on something, rightfully, reasonably, no. So 2020 onwards, the government institutions from Netherlands got involved in our relationship. Of course, I understand. Children are involved, and the safety of children is definitely most important, and their healthy development is definitely most important. Who else than myself should be most aware of this? However, when there is an abusive relationship going on, and a man is also asking for help and to be understood and heard, it's someone's job to actually do that. And now, beginning with an organization that is similar to Child Protective Services in the United States or elsewhere, and then the social team from the previous municipality where I was registered, beginning from all those people who, one, ignored my phone calls, which I made with an explanation of where I'm suffering and what I'm suffering from, and how this is affecting the kids because it's happening also in front of them and how often. And I wanted those phone calls to be on the record. I have a big fat file. The only phone call that did go on the record is the one the police made, where I got locked out of my house. I couldn't enter, so I called the police to help me get back home. Everything else was ignoring my vulnerability, my human rights, and then refusing to help for 7 months. Now, for the second time already, when it comes to just simple social housing, and they say there is a crisis with the housing here. In the same building where my ex-partner now lives with my kids, there are 4 apartments empty already ever since I was made to live. Okay. Very good. Needless to speak or say more, the point of the title, see, the one thing I should still explain, when I was 17 in Slovenia, I was also on the streets. I did go to high school and I did try to work at the same time. However, because I was homeless since I was 13, at least not registered on that same address anymore, and then I didn't, at 17, I also lived in a squat, so I didn't have a home or a place to register for myself. And I couldn't stay registered with my mom. It was too far. So trying to go back to high school was almost impossible because I did not have an ID, health insurance, and I was unable to create anything from it or process any bureaucratic requests. Still had to pay the tax if I made any income somehow. The tax office always knew where to find me, but no one else who should help, especially a young teenager on the streets, right? Kids have rights. If I, as an adult and as a man, clearly don't have any human rights, at least kids do. So in 2017, coincidentally, I got invited to a 10th, I think it was a 10th year anniversary of Slovenia signing the Convention of Children's Rights. Irony. I love ironies and I love cynical people. I really do. As much as I loathe them and despise them, I also love them because they give me this energy and this new power to actually make things right. So what happened back then, I was invited, that was UNICEF, it was a huge, huge event in one of the most prestigious locations. Loads of speakers, Vice President, International Vice President of UNICEF, Slovenian President of UNICEF, Slovenian Minister of Social Affairs and School and such, a few others. loads of talkers. But they spoke a lot, each at least 30 minutes. And then they came to me. I was a special guest, special invitation. They said, we need you. Then they ran to me and they said, we have 3 minutes left. Could you tell us your life story? Well, I haven't even gotten to the first few years of my life, but you will see. Needless to say, my response and the way I performed there has made waves through the media, through the state, and everywhere. So I managed to improve the lives of homeless people in Slovenia. Now I see new challenges, and my old warrior suit has been taken out of the closet. These people think that they can keep getting away with this. Not anymore. This is what you get when you piss off a peaceful warrior. We live for peace, but you put us in the middle of the war. That's where people like me are most comfortable. So, dear Dutch system, social workers, and everybody else that was clearly on the wrong side of this, good luck. Because I never stop until I'm done and until it's done perfectly. So, not just professionally, but everywhere. And this will be only fun for me. The tougher it gets, the better for me. I can tell you that much. Thank you for waking me up again, giving me a mission and a purpose, because everything else I already love doing. I love helping people, I love changing the world, and I love making things better than they are. And thanks for giving me another chance to leave a better legacy for the future. And I really couldn't appreciate this more. Try to break me, you try to piss me off, you try to ignore human rights. Well, guess what? Peace.